All right, so now we are going to take a closer look at list in Python. What is a list? By definition, a list is a data structure in Python that allows you to store multiple values in a single variable. Okay, all right. So lists are ordered. This means items have a defined order that does not change unless they are modified. They are also mutable. This means you can add, remove, or change items after creating the list. Also, they allow duplicates. This means lists can contain repeated values. So what you are going to do is you have to think of a list like a shopping list, okay, where you can store multiple items and can add or remove them as needed. So let's take a closer look at the syntax. So you have your list name and you say this is equal to, and then you are going to have a square bracket, okay, and then you input your items, okay. So they have to be separated by a comma, okay, but we are going to take a closer look at that, okay, on the code inside. So you can have a list of numbers, strings, or a mixed list, okay. So this is very important to note. So let's go to the other side and check it out. All right. So we said a list is a collection of multiple values stored under a single variable. Okay. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a list of numbers. So let's use square brackets to store multiple items. So this is very important to note. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to create a variable called numbers and I'm going to say this is equal to, so remember we said list use square bracket to store multiple values. So now square bracket. So now we are just going to put in some numbers, okay, and we can input as much as we need, but we just have to separate it with a comma. Okay, so I'm going to say 10 comma 20 comma 30, okay, comma 40. Okay, so let's go ahead and print the list. Okay, print bracket open bracket close, and now I'm going to input numbers. Okay, all right. So now when we load it now, you can see a list of numbers. Okay, so this contains 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, all right. So if we want also, we can go ahead and take a closer look at the data type. Okay, just to confirm that this is a list. Okay, all right. So I'm going to say type bracket open bracket close, and now I'm going to input the variable name of the list, that is numbers. So now I'm going to go ahead and print it, print bracket open and bracket close. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to load it, and now you can see class list. Okay, so this proves that, okay, this numbers here is a list. Okay, all right. So now we can go ahead and create also a list of fruits. So I can come down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna say fruits, for instance. Let's say fruits, and this is equal to, so let's not forget our square bracket. Okay, so it uses the square bracket to store multiple values. Okay, so this is important to note. So now let's go ahead and input, let's say apple. Okay, apple, and comma, and maybe we can input banana. Okay, banana, 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 and I'm gonna put a comma again, and just one more, and now I'm gonna say cherry. Okay, all right, cherry. So now let's go ahead and print it. So I'm going to come down here, print bracket open bracket close fruits, and now I'm going to load it, and now we have a list, okay, of fruits. So we have apple, banana, and cherry. So also we can go ahead and check the data type, okay, and we can say type bracket open bracket close fruits, and we can go ahead and print it. Okay, so print bracket open here and bracket close. So now I'm going to load it, and now you are going to see that we have class list. Okay, all right, so this is very important to note. All right, so now we are going to take a closer look at a mixed list. Okay, this is a list that contain different data types. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna come down here, and I'm going to create a variable called mix, and I'm going to say this is equal to, so now let's not forget about our square bracket. So now let's put in our first string. So that's gonna be hello. So hello is a string. So comma, so now I'm going to put an integer value, so that's 42 there for you. And now I'm going to input a boolean value, so that's true. And finally I'm going to input a floating point number, so that's a decimal number, so 3.14. Okay, all right. So now I can come down here, and we can go ahead and print it, print bracket open bracket close mixed, and you can see it here. Okay, all right. So this means you can create a list that contain different data types. But however, let's go ahead and check the data type. So let's verify it. So print, bracket open, bracket close. I'm going to say type, bracket open, bracket close. And now I'm going to input mixed here. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to load it, and now you can see class list. Okay, all right. So this is important to note, and this is how you can create lists in Python. So happy coding, and see you on the other side. All right. So now we are going to take a closer look at accessing elements in a list. And what we have to note is each item in a list has an index, that is the position, and it starts from 0. Okay. So this is very important. In Python, counting starts from 0. Okay. All right. So we have the positive indexing and we have the negative indexing. Okay. So looking at this, we have a list of animals here. Okay. That is from dog to zebra. Okay. So the position of dog, okay, the position of dog using positive indexing is 0. Okay, because remember we start counting from 0. So the position of cat will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and zebra finally will be 5. Okay, using negative indexing, the position of cat, okay, but when we are using negative indexing, we start counting from the ending. So this is very important to note. If you are using positive indexing, you start counting from the beginning. If you are using negative indexing, you start counting from the ending. So zebra will be -1, lion will be -2, tiger will be -3, elephant -4, cat -5, dog -6. Okay, so this is important to note. So now, using the knowledge that we have here, okay, if we are asked to go ahead and access elephant, only elephant. So let's look at the syntax. So we type in the list name, okay, and then we have our square bracket, and then we put in the index. Okay, all right, the position. So where is elephant? Using positive indexing, okay, elephant is number 2. So now you call the list name here and you have your square bracket, you input number 2. So now you're gonna have elephant. Okay, that will be your output. How about if you are using negative indexing? Then it will be -4. So you input here, for example, you call the list, you have your square bracket, and then you, okay, you input -4 here. Okay, so this is the negative indexing. However, if this is not clear, let's just go to the coding side and take a closer look at it. All right, so now we are going to take a closer look at how to access elements in a list. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this code here, and I'm going to bring it down here and paste it. Okay, all right. So I'm going to paste it. So now what I want to do is I want to use positive indexing, for example, to access Apple. Okay, all right. So first thing first, we call the variable name fruits. Okay, fruits, and now square bracket, and now we are going to input the position of Apple. So remember, we start counting from 0. So this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So the position of Apple is what? 0, right? So now I'm going to input 0 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print it. Okay, print. So bracket open here and bracket close. So now what we are going to do is we are going to access Apple, right? Okay. So how about if I want to access banana? Okay, so it's going to be the same process, right? So now I'm going to come down here and paste this here. So this is 0 and this is 1. So now I'm going to input 1 here. Okay, all right. So now if I load it, so now you can see now here we have banana. All right. So now I'm going to come down here again and paste this one. So now I want to access cherry. Okay, all right. So now what is cherry? So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, right? So now I'm going to put 2 here. Okay, all right. So now once I load it now, you can see we have cherry. So how about if I come down here and let's say I put here 3. So here, let's go ahead and check our list here again. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. There is no 3, right? So now what I'm going to have here, I'm going to have an index error, list index out of range. Why? Because I'm trying to access something that is not in the list. So this is very important to note. Okay, all right. So now I'm just going to delete it and load this. So remember, we use positive indexing. Okay, so also we can use negative indexing to access Apple. For example, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2 for positive indexing. But for negative indexing, this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, right? So now I can change this to -3, and still we are going to have apple. As you can see, apple. However, what I'm going to do is I am just going to leave it like this. And now I'm going to bring in the numbers. Okay, I'm going to bring in our numbers here. Okay, and now we are going to use negative indexing to access the numbers. So now let me come down here. So let's use negative indexing to go ahead and access the numbers. Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna say numbers. Okay, square bracket. So now what do I want to access? I want to access 40. Okay, so when it comes to negative indexing, okay, we start counting from the ending. So to access 40, then it's going to be -1. Okay, -1. So now using negative indexing, so -1. So now I'm going to come here and print it. Print bracket open and bracket close. Okay, so now I'm going to load it. And you can see now we have used negative indexing to access 40, right? Also, if we want, we could have used positive indexing to access it, right? But this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? This one is 3. So now, for example, if I input here 3, and let me remove this code here. So you can see here, again, we still have 40. But the reason why we are going to do here the negative indexing is just to see the order variation, okay? All right, so now I'm just gonna come here and put here -1, okay? So that's gonna be our 40. Okay, so how about if we want to access 30 using negative indexing? So this is -1, this is -2. So now 30 is -2. So now you can see we have it here. So how about if I want to access 20? Okay, so -1, -2, -3. So now I'm gonna come here and put 3. Okay, so now you can take a closer look at it. We have our 20. So if I want to access 10 again, it's the same tactic, right? So now this is -1, this is -2, this is -3, this is -4, right? So we are using negative indexing, okay? All right, for this one. And now you can see 10, okay? Also, if you want positive indexing, for example, you want to access 10, so this is just 0, right? So even if you put here 0, it's going to be the same thing, 0. Still, you can see here, we're going to access 10, okay? All right, but I'm just going to put this back here. So how about if I come down here and put -5? So let's take a closer look at it, -5. So now if I load it, we have an index error. So why? So this is -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so there is no value before 10, right? So this is -4. So there is nothing like -5. So whenever you have an index error, just know that you are trying to access something that is not on the list. So this is very important to note. So let me just remove it now and load it. Okay, all right. So this is very important to note. Happy coding and see you on the other side. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and show you how to modify elements in a list. Okay, all right, so this is very important to note. So now let me just come here and I'm going to collect this and I'm gonna come down here and I'm going to go ahead and paste it. Okay, all right, so this is important to note. So now what I want to do is I want to replace banana. We have our banana here, okay? What I want to do is I want to replace banana with mango, okay? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am first of all going to call the fruits, okay? That is the variable name here, fruits. So I'm going to call it fruits. And then I'm going to use the square bracket. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to input the position or the index of banana. Okay, all right. So what's the position or the index of banana? So this is 0 and this is 1. So now I'm going to put there 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is equal to, okay, this is equal to. So now what do I want to replace banana with? I want to replace it with mango. Okay, all right, so this is important to note. So I'm going to input mango here. Okay, all right. So now let me come down here and now what I'm going to do is I am going to print it. Okay, all right, so print bracket open bracket close, and now I'm going to say fruits. Okay, fruits. So now I'm going to load it now, and you can see now we have successfully replaced banana with mango. So you can see here we had banana here, but now we've replaced it with mango and you can see it here. Okay, all right, so this is important to note. Also, if we want, we can replace cherry with orange. So now let me just copy this here and come down here. So now what I want to do is I want to replace cherry with orange. Okay, all right. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So now I'm gonna put here 2. Okay, so now I want to replace it with orange. So now I'm gonna type in orange. Okay, orange. So now take a closer look at it now. So if I load it, now remember we have changed banana previously. We've changed it to mango. Okay, that is we replace banana with mango, and now we are replacing cherry with orange. So now take a closer look at it. Now we have mango, we have orange. Okay, all right. So this is very important to note. Okay, so also if you want, you can replace apple, okay, with another fruit. Okay, so that is up to you. All right, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to collect the numbers here. And now I'm going to come down here, and now I'm just going to give one example. Okay, all right. So now what I want to do is I want to replace 10. Okay, this 10 here, I want to replace it with 1. Okay, all right. So now I'm just gonna come here, and now I'm gonna type in numbers. Now I'm gonna use the square bracket, and now I'm gonna put a 0 here. Okay, because the position of 10 is what? 0, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna say this is equal to, and now I want to replace it with 1. So now I can come down here and I can go ahead and print numbers. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to load it now, and you can see we have successfully replaced, okay, 1. Okay, we've successfully replaced 10, sorry, with 1. Okay, all right. So this is important to note. So this is how you can modify elements. Okay, all right. So this is it, and see you on the other side, and happy coding.